Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, after having our discussion on Rahu and Ketu's upcoming transit, from Rahu's perspective, that when Rahu will enter in the Aquarius sign, if you have any of your planets being placed in the Aquarius, how it is going to be influencing the signification of that planets. So we already have had our discussion on that. Now in this video, we will try to look at this axis from Ketu's perspective. Like if you have any of your planets being placed in the Leo and Ketu is going to transit over it, how it is going to be influencing the results. So yes guys, before we will start our discussion, just first try to briefly understand the signification of the Ketu. I always say this thing, look at Ketu as the power behind the blessings, power behind the curse, that sort of inevitable force of your prarabdha, of your destiny, which meant to be endured. That is the signification which Ketu represents. These days guys, if you're keeping a track on this very big spiritual congregation gathering taking place in India, in Prayagraj, called as the Mahakumbh, and you would be seeing all those saints and sadhus with all ash smeared participating in that. Now these are the people who represent the vibration of Ketu. Like some of these people, they just remain in the caves, in the mountains, in isolation, just doing the meditation. They only just come out of their isolation in the public only to attend these kind of events. So these are the people who represent the typical Ketu energy. Whatever Ketu brings in our life, the impact of that is felt on the soul level. It has the capacity to completely transform our life. Lately, I've been talking about these topics and I've been mentioning this. Wheresoever Ketu is placed in your chart, just put that area of your life in the auto mode or the divine mode, because divine is automatically taking care of it and then you will see it. Guys, even from the holy scriptures, I have been giving example of Arjun. Why Lord Krishna selected Arjun only to ride his chariot? Because he has the capacity to give that complete surrender with unwavering focus towards the goal. Same is the case like when you talk about even from our scriptures, you will take up the case of the Lord Ram as well. Like when Lord Ram was supposed to be anointed as a king, right at that time he was being asked to go on an exile and he did not ask any question. Now imagine someone who was supposed to be a king of a kingdom ended up, because of his greatness of sacrifice, ended up becoming and being worshipped as a god of the whole humanity, whole world. And again guys, there's a high possibility, I have been talking about this as well in my early prediction video, that with Rahu's entry in the Aquarius, there is a high possibility that during this time there will be the rise of many cults. But moreover, most important thing is Ketu is going in Leo, and at a time when Saturn is going to be transiting in the Pisces. That simply means that there will be the rise and prominence of some important spiritual figure who will guide the whole world. Like the way, for example, people like Shri Ravi Shankar ji, the founder of Art of Living. This could be one of the example, could be Sadhguru ji, founder of Isha Foundation. So the world will witness the prominence of so many of these kind of people. And like the way guys, see, let me give you a very short story, then we will deep dive into our today's discussion. So what happened, once in our village, there used to be one guy who used to be there as a guru, and everyone in the village who are going through problem issues and all, they used to go to him and he used to give them blessing. And there was another lady, she used to do the witchcraft, and like all those people who have any ill intention against someone, they want to cause any harm, they want to usurp someone's property, something, they used to go to her and she used to do the black magic. So, and that guy who used to give the blessing and all, he on and off once in a while used to go to that lady and used to curse her, that it's only because of you, you're doing evil deed, you are harming other people, you will go to hell, this and that. So what happened, call it destiny, that they both were supposed to die on the same day, and somehow they became friends as well. So they were sitting together, and when the right time of the death came, so Chitragupt, like the accountant, came with the guards from the heaven and guards from the hell. So the minute when they entered, so the other guy was very assured that okay, I'm going to heaven. And the minute he started walking towards the heaven guards, Chitragupta, accountant. No, 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 no. Stop there. You're going to hell. It's like, it's injustice. I did the holy work. She is the one. And Chitragupta, accountant, said, and this lady, and she will go to heaven. It's like, it's injustice. Why it is happening? And I said, okay, wait. It's not only about what you were doing, the actions you were doing. What matters is deep inside what you were feeling. What was your intent? Okay, we have the proof. We do not come to take anyone's soul without the proof. We have the proof. Okay, listen to it. So the inner monologue of that guy all the time was, they keep on coming there every day. Oh my God, do I have nothing to do just to solve their problem? They don't even put anything in the donation box. They don't even bring anything, and I just have whole time just solve their problem. Oh my God, why I messed up in this? And the inner monologue of that lady, God, why you put me in this? Why did you put this as my karma? But okay, whatever it is, it's like you gave me that job and I surrender it to your will. Whatever I'm doing it at your will. And those people who come to me, do whatever, just keep your grace on them. So that was the only reason. So all what I'm trying to say, that when we talk about Ketu, it's your what you reverberate deep inside. It's the soul level kind of sensation, feelings is something which is attached with the energy of the Ketu. Like the way, guys, I keep on talking about from the chakras point of view as well. So the bottom, the root chakra, can be attached with the Saturn. So over where all of our habits, our idiosyncrasies, everything is attached with the Saturn. If Saturn is going to be strengthened, it will ensure that you will have property, you will have work, you will not die out of hunger or poverty or something. Saturn will not give you more than food, but it will not deny you food. You go rise little bit above it. Then is the Swadhisthana chakra, which can be attached with the planet Jupiter as well. Somehow all of our procreation, education, doing our job could be attached with the Jupiter. Then you rise little bit above, then you reach the navel chakra, over where you can attach the Mars. Now from over here and right above it, now starts the domain of the Ketu, something which goes with you only if you are reverberating on that level. And if you even make your prayers, make your wishes from the higher chakras, there is a high possibility that it will get manifested. That is the only reason, guys. Like there are like certain things which are very difficult to understand. Like if I were to give even my own example as well, like in my case, my maternal grandfather, like sometimes I wonder, like when I discuss it with my mother, that my mother, they were like 5 brothers, sisters. My maternal grandfather, like for me, he's the Ketu, and I guess my Ketu strong. I was very attached to him. He passed away. So he used to work in a mineral department. He was a gazetted officer, senior accountant and something. But even just being a sole breadwinner, wife, my maternal grandmother, she was the housewife. It means he not only took care of the education of all the children, he built a very big house. Every year he used to bring, like my mother, my uncles and all, they used to come to Delhi for attending weddings and function. He also got all the children got married. You know how expensive Indian weddings could be. All the jewelry, all the arrangements, everything. He did everything just on that salary. And like there have been those cases. I recently did a reading for this guy. He started off from a very small grocery store in one of the tier 2, tier 3 small town in India. And he actually, now he was telling me that one of his children, like one of his son, he is already in US. He's a senior like engineer over there. One of his kid is a senior gazetted officer working for the government in India. So there have been those cases. So like only when we learn to put everything and devote everything to the feet of the God, our life gets into the auto mode, or like the way I say, the word I use for Ketu, in the divine mode. So that is what is important, to surrender. Only if you know and learn how to surrender, because you cannot be accountable for everything. You need to be very much, consciously aware about all those commands and affirmation you're giving in the universe. Because if I were to say the only planet through which all these prayers, all these blessings, all these manifestation pass through, filter through, that is Ketu. So Ketu is that important. And after May, Ketu is going to be in a position of strength. Guys, look at it in this way. We always say that Ketu has got this power to bring transformation. So if you have to understand it from Leo's perspective, so that means complete soul level transformation, your transformation in your ideologies, in your philosophy, in your thought process, in your intellect. So a lot of the potential can be attached with this excess of Rahu being in the Aquarius and Ketu being in the Leo. And I guess, guys, that is what the beauty of this excess is. That is the only reason Rahu in the Aquarius is considered as very strong, because Rahu is just the head part of the body. Rahu has got all the ideas. Now the manifestation works very beautifully, because whatever Rahu will try to achieve, Ketu will give complete surrender of its body, and the manifestation can happen. So yes, guys, that was little bit about like Ketu's entry in the Leo. If you have to look at it from a Leo's perspective, it can be attached as a transit of prominence. Ketu will do whatever is necessary in order to cut out all those things which are somehow coming as impurity in order for you to function or bloom to your best potential. So whether you talk about from the artistic or creative point of view as well, like the way, guys, someone like me, like my Ketu is strong, and right from my childhood days, I do not know if you are like from the West and all, but in India there is one of the genre of the music called as the ghazal. Like one of the very famous ghazal maestro like Jagjit Singh ji and Pankaj Udas. Oh my god, I was a die-hard fan of. Like even today, before recording this video, I was listening to this song Koi Faryad of Jagjit Singh ji. So I mean to say, that is what the energy of the Ketu is. Ketu is all about, you know, being connected to your roots, to tradition and things, whatever we attract. Because of the prominence of Ketu over there, there is a soul level connection. So Ketu is not gonna give you something what we call as the superficial kind of connection and something. Whatever we get, whatever we manifest under the blessing of the Ketu, that somehow reverberates deeply with us on a soul level. So yes, guys, that was like few things which I wanted to talk about. Now let's try to look at that if you have any of the planets and Ketu is going to be transiting over it. So guys, starting first with that, if you have got Leo as your ascendant, so that means Ketu is going to transit over it. Although we already have had our discussion, but Saturn is going to be transiting from your 8th house as well. So guys, look at it in this way, that this is going to be the time of severe, this could be existential crisis, this could be asking for the deeper meaning in the life. See guys, a lot is dependent on your own actions, your own activities, and what age group you are right now in and what kind of dashas you are currently going through. Now let's say, for example, if in your case you're already close to the 47 or 48 years of the age, along with that you're also running dasha which is somehow losing away or taking away power from you. It is making you very emotionally vulnerable. We know this thing, that Saturn, Rahu, Rahu, Saturn, or Moon, Rahu, Rahu, Moon. These are the times which creates confusion, which brings transformation in the life. And over and above that, Ketu coming over it could be a time where you will find yourself where you know, circumstances, force of destiny is gonna be having a major say or control over your life. Like you might feel that I'm losing control from the life. That could be one of the probable outcome. Second thing is that, let's say for example guys, if in your case you are close to that 47 or 48 years of the age, along with that you are running some very strengthened dasha, like dasha which is giving you more power, more like, you know, making you center of attention, and over and above that you are also right now trying for any important leadership role, like you are like trying for any senior diplomat role, you are in a very serious considerable list for any political position and something. So this could be an assured sign that Ketu's transiting over here to your ascendant will assure your chances for success. Ketu represents that hoisted flag, so that means the flag is bound to be there. Like this could be on your car, this could be on your residence, on your office, just because Ketu is going to be transiting over it. Like the way guys, I say this thing a lot many times, all these planets only operate in our life either in their dasha or in the transit when they come in a perfect alignment. So this could be a case that whatever you have earned so far in the life, like this could be any divine blessing, this could be the blessing of your like maternal grandfather, any of the guru seva, if you have done that. So that will get materialized or get manifest in your life in this time. So I would say this thing, like the way I've been saying this thing throughout in this whole discussion: relinquish, lose the control. Just make the Lord Krishna, give him the control of your chariot of the life, and he will drive you in the right direction. But yes guys, this is going to be the time of some major transformation and karmic event is gonna happen. That's bound to happen. Saturn in the 8th, Ketu in the 1st, it's gonna happen. So do not resist, just go with the flow. And any of the spiritual austerities, refuge to any guru ashram and something is the right way of dealing with this energy. Now guys, let's say for example, if you have your sun being in the Leo, so that in itself means that yes, the confidence, prestige is very strong in your case, in your personality. And now Ketu is gonna transit over it. So guys, a lot many times in the research it has been seen that whenever Ketu transit over this natal sun, this could be a time of where people tend to have issue with the father, or this could be issue with the government, and over there you do not have any rational reason to give. Like Rahu and Mercury are the planets of rational and kind of where we say that there is an intellectual explanation for any behavior. But when it comes down to Ketu, it more works on an instinctual plane. So all what I'm trying to say over here is that if your sun is this prominent, Ketu is going over it. So either it is going to be a booster to your success, to your glory, to your recognition, or this could be a time of complete negation. Again guys, why to go very far? Even if I were to give you example from my own chart as well, like in my case, like ever since like Ketu has transited to the 6th house, see, I always wanted to do astrology with a on site. There has to be a job so that you get a time to socialize, meet people, and then I'm not having that much pressure to put on astrology. Astrology tend to remain as a passion. But ever since like being a Aries Lagna, ever since Ketu has entered in my 6th house, before I was like there in India doing vacation, pilgrimage and all, and ever since when I have come back here, I'm finding it very difficult. Although I'm very good, well taken care of, but I mean to say Ketu has this tendency to deny things, and it actually blocks the things. So I mean to say, again guys, a lot is dependent on this. Ketu's prominence come out whenever it is connected with Leo sign, whenever it is connected with the sun, it is connected with the 1st house, 5th house, 11th house, and a lot of the things which we have earned in terms of the blessings, in terms of the spiritual merit, our research, our dedication get fructified. So yes guys, all what I can say is that it is gonna take you to the peaks. Now this could be which direction of the peak it is going to be. Like, are you gonna be like blooming to the full of your potential, or this is going to be a matter and time of issue with the authority? A lot is dependent on that what dashas you are currently going through. But I can assure you of this thing: if right now you're running some favorable dasha and you are in that age group, especially you're like 47, 48 or 55, 56, this could be a very landmark, very prominent time for you, and chances of success or recognition is going to be all-time high. Now guys, let's say for example, if your moon sign is Leo and Ketu is going to be transiting over it. So guys, beyond any doubt, Ketu's transit over the natal moon is always a time of detachment, separation, anxiety, and the instinctual forces start working very strongly on us. So one thing which I want to give you as a remedy is that when Ketu is going to be transiting over your this natal moon during this time, do as much of the meditation as possible, be very respectful towards nature, and also people who are like connected with spirituality, doing any of the occult, astrology, spiritual work, try to be as respectful towards them. That is going to be the right way of dealing with this energy. Again guys, a lot is dependent on that within this Leo, what exactly is your moon nakshatra. Like if your moon nakshatra is, let's say for example, it is Magha, so that means you are already in the purview, in the control of the Ketu. So Ketu is gonna be taking control of your thought process of your life, over where you will find that this could be good events as well, this could be negative events as well. So whatever is gonna be happening, it is very in a very sudden, unexpected way things are happening, and somehow you will find yourself to be losing control, that there is some third power which is kind of calling shots, pulling the strings behind the scene. You might get this feeling. If your moon nakshatra is, let's say for example, Purva Falguni. So Purva Falguni, guys, we know this thing that Purva Falguni is the Venus nakshatra. It has got more to do with the comforts, with the enjoyment. So it might take you to the depth of it. See, Ketu's transit over here will make you anxious, and the anxiety will go in the matters of finding love, or getting more attention from your partner, or getting to the depth of your spending and your attention on the beautiful, luxurious kind of things. And if your moon nakshatra is going to be Uttara Falguni, then it is going to be truth finding. So if I were to say, out of these three nakshatra, especially if your moon is going to be placed in the Uttara Falguni nakshatra, those people are actually gonna be getting benefited, because this anxiety, this pressure will drive you and take you towards the soul searching. So that's all what I can say. Now guys, if in your case your Mars is placed in the Leo sign. So guys, we know this thing that when it comes down to the Mars and the Ketu, see, look at it in this way, that why we say this thing, that Rahu gives results as per the Saturn, and Ketu gives result akin or equivalent to the Mars. See, if Mars is connected with the fire, when we see any of the fire ball, the tail part of that is generally connected with the Ketu. And I guess that was the mistake which was done by the demon king Ravan as well. Like when he captured like Lord Hanuman, he made a mistake of putting fire in the tail of the Lord Hanuman. So we know this thing, that any tail part, any animal with a tail is connected with Ketu. So coming back to the point, so guys, this is going to be a very power pack kind of combination. And see, the thing is, whatever comes from the Ketu, again guys, look at it in this way, whatever Saturn brings, or Sun brings, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, they can still be attached with the living signification. Ketu and Rahu, they are not a physical body, so they represents, like Ketu for example represents ancestors, it represents third power, it represents our own actions, karma only from the past many lifetimes, blessings of the gurus and all. So you will see that the natural causes and circumstances are gonna be impacting your power. So either you will be put in a situation that now you are finding yourself more empowered, or this could be a case that because of being a victim of circumstances, you feel that your power is being snatched away from you. So yes guys, this is how it is going to be like activating your Mars. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be the time when you will see that the deeper hidden potential of yours. Like the way sometimes what happens is that see, Rahu and Ketu are the planets like of destiny, and they are also connected with the crisis kind of situation as well. So life will put you in those circumstances where you will discover your true power and true energy. That's all what I can say. Guys, you have to be very careful with like Ketu and Mars. Like in lot many cases, like this is what is happening in the Los Angeles, all that fire incident. If you will pay attention right now, Mars is debilitated. So Mars is responsible for that. And Ketu, Mars, even in India, like in the older times, in all the houses where the cylinder used to blast off, pressure cooker used to blast off, those were the houses where people used to have, the house owner used to have Mars Ketu combination. So that means you have to be careful. Ketu is going to be activating the deeper power and energy of yours. What direction you give to it, all of that will be dependent on your planetary alignments and the running dasha. Now guys, let's say for example, if you have your Mercury being placed in the Leo sign. So guys, look at it in this way. Leo Mercury is considered as mediocre, because we know this thing that immediate after this, Mercury is like in a Ucharohi position. Immediate after this, Mercury is gonna be getting into the sign of its own exaltation. It rules it. Second thing is that Mercury is like a prince, and Leo is a sign of its father, like the king. So Mercury has got a lot of potential over here. Now once Ketu is going to come over it, so look at it in this way, that Mercury has got the logical skills, and Ketu has got instinctive, intuitive kind of faculties and skills. In certain cases, there could be a contradiction. But guys, again, as per my research, as per my finding, I have seen this thing that, like the way I've been saying this thing, that Ketu is the power behind any blessing. Ketu is the power behind any curse. Ketu is the power behind any mantra. Like, imagine, like if I were to ask you, these days these things are happening in India a lot, especially in the Indian Hindi podcast series about the uh, I don't know which word they call it, switch word or what. And some of those words, okay, there could be those which are the relevant ones, but there are those which are not making any sense. I mean to say, if there is no spiritual bliss in it, there could be some random word and the letters and the sentences you are just keep on reciting, and you will not feel any energy. And they're like those mantras like Gayatri mantra, Mahamrityunjaya mantra. You do that, you do one bead of it, and you will feel that power energy right around you. I just made a video on the power of the beach mantras as well. So I mean to say, if Mercury is the language, Ketu just add that kind of power and blessing to it. So people say this thing that okay, Ketu's transit over the Mercury, you will be detached, you will be without head, you will not be able to make right decision. Again, a lot is dependent on how intuitive kind of person you are. Like if you by default, your whole chart is making you very intuitive, like being a water sign lagna, being a water moon sign and all, and nakshatras are also indicating that. And over and above that, Ketu transiting over this Mercury, there's a high possibility, and your running dashas are favorable. This will actually make you very intuitive, and any of the chanting, reading, whatever you will be doing, there will be that third power which will be guiding you, which will be helping you to reach to your object of desire. I am looking at it. I will not say this thing that it's gonna make you make some foolish mistake and all those kind of issues and errors in your communication devices and all. No, I look at it more of a deeper spiritual way. Moving ahead, guys. Now, when we talk about if your Jupiter is placed in the Leo, now guys, this is going to be a golden time for you. Guys, look at it in this way, in this whole alignment, because Ketu is a planet which only pays heed or respect the planet Jupiter. And we know this thing that even the Leo sign in the original Kalpurush Kundli is encapsulated, and it is connected with our soul as well. All our past life merits are also attached with the Leo as well. So during this time, let's say for example, if in any capacity you are doing any of the religious godly work, you are doing any of the teaching, training kind of work, the minute Ketu is going to go over it, you will find that sort of hypnotic attraction. Like the way, guys, that is what we say. There have been so many doctors, but they're like specific doctors. Somehow their advice, their medicine somehow does wonder and miracle for the patients. So that is the energy of Ketu, which distinguishes you from the crowd, which just add that element of shafa, this is a Hindi word, or that kind of blessing or grace to you. So I mean to say, if in any capacity you are actually honoring the work of the Leo, blending it with Jupiter, like you are working as a consultant to the government, you work as a teacher, tutor, trainer, and you train people who are preparing for any federal government job exams or something. Or you're like, these days there have been so many people who are doing the religious content creation and something. So it's going to be very beneficial transit for you. You will find that whatever you are searching, you are trying to manifest, dots are getting connected on their own. People are by themselves, by default, are trying to get in touch with you. Your influence is spreading. People are now hypnotically attracted towards you. So this is how it is going to be working out. And yes, if you are very much inclined towards doing the chanting, doing the mantra, so you can manifest a lot many things during this time. Now guys, in your case, if your Venus is going to be placed in the Leo and Ketu is going to be transiting over it. So guys, we know this thing that Venus in the Leo is a sensitive sign, because immediate after this Venus is going to be getting into the sign of its debilitation. And over and above that, Venus in the Leo, the concern over here is that there is a lot of the effulgence, lot of the glow which sun carries, and it has the potential and capacity to even combust the energy of the Venus as well. So it's a slightly sensitive alignment, and over and above that, Ketu is going to go over it. So there is a high possibility, guys, that during this time, the way we say that sometimes being too attractive, being too charming, being too good looking also work against you. So the very first thing is that when Ketu is going to be transiting over it, so my recommendation is that if you live in those kind of areas and all where natural calamity, that sort of potential is there, or like the way, guys, even in those houses, like when I give this example, Ketu Mars combination in the houses which catches the fire, cylinder blast, pressure cooker blast. Same is the way when we talk about the Venus. So try not to be too too much of the glamour might work against you. Like the way just because you were showing off too much, there was a theft, there was a robbery, there was a audit raid or something which happened to you. So Ketu is all about nature and all, natural causes and all. And Venus and Leo combination just give too much of the glow, which sometimes makes us a very easy target. So you have to be careful over there. Sometimes being too beautiful, too glamorous, sometimes work against you. That's a small hint I'm giving it to you. Along with that, guys, that sense and feeling of finding yourself insecure even in the matters of love and relationship. So if I were to say, based on majority of the planets, it's the, if your Venus is in the Leo and Ketu is gonna transit over it, it could be a matter of sensitivity. So it needs to be studied, monitored and handled with caution, with care. Especially, guys, worship of the Lord Ganesha is something which is very recommended for you. Now guys, let's say for example, if your Saturn is going to be placed in the Leo. So guys, we know this thing that Saturn in the Leo is like, in a way, it is placed in an enemy sign, and Ketu is going to transit over it. And not only that, in your case, even in the 8th house, Saturn is going to be transiting over there as well at the same time. So that means, yes, there's a lot of the like that you will be very much subjected to the forces of the nature. So let's say for example, a lot is dependent, guys, on what kind of dashas you are currently going through and what exactly is the age group you are in. So let's say for example, if you're already you're already going through, you are like 47 or 48 years of the age, you are going through the dasha of the 10th lord, which is weak. So, and over and above that, Ketu going through this Saturn, many times people get subjected to some investigation, some sort of raid and these kind of things. And it's like you are just a victim of circumstances. When it comes down to Ketu, that is the only word I have to give. When it comes down to Rahu, it might be your own greed which landed you in trouble. When it's about Ketu, it's about you are just a victim. You were at the wrong time, at the wrong place, and you get embroiled into the problem. So be very mindful, guys. If in your profession, if in your line of work especially, you are working in those kind of fields over where your business is not properly insured, please get the right insurance. These days, oh my god, all the insurance companies are going bankrupt because of this Los Angeles incident. It happened, and before that I guess something happened in the Dubai as well. So yes, all these housing insurance companies and all. So I mean to say, just keep your business very well insured. That is the first remedy which I want to give it to you. Second thing is that yes guys, Saturn in the Leo in any case is agitated if Saturn is also activated right now in the dasha. So I would say this thing that either start visiting a guru, start doing meditation, or sometimes guys even doing astrology act as a remedy. So take interest in astrology, do some, like rather I would say enroll for some course or certification. This is the very best remedy. So yes guys, that's all what I can say. Ketu is like your Saturn in the Leo. You already gonna have issues with your uncles, you already gonna have issues with the government, with the authority, with the bosses, and Ketu is gonna make you subjected to or victim in this kind of situation, that something happened and you are being planted and sent at a wrong time, wrong place, and something happened and now you are accountable. So again guys, I'm not scaring you, it's just like that. This is how it is. I'm just giving you a perspective. A lot is dependent on what kind of dashas you're currently going through. And guys, if in your case your Rahu is going to be placed in the Leo and Ketu is going to go over it. So yes guys, all what I can say is that this is going to be the time of confusion, as very beautifully said by my astrology friend, that it's the time when in the future you meet your past, which has the capacity to change your current. So that means just guys do all the seva if it is possible. Rahu in the Leo could be considered as powerful, especially people who are connected with the entertainment business, people who are connected with stock market, or people who like just want to get the power through even questionable means and all. And now Ketu is going to go over it. So guys, this is going to be the time of the karmic justice and all. So whatever you would have sown in the past, that will come in front of you. A lot is dependent on that. At the same time, when this inversion is happening, what kind of dashas you are currently going through and what exactly Yeah, age, I guess I'm sure what age you will be in. So you will be like 30, 45. I'm sure what your age is going to be. But yes, your dasha will have a lot of say. And yes, there will be karmic confusion. So life will put you in perplexing kind of situation where you will feel that, okay, how come I don't even deserve, and suddenly I've been made a head of this organization, or you were the one who's supposed to be the head and the power skipped right in front of you. So this is how things can happen or can materialize. And guys, if you're going to be having the Rahu and Ketu return, and guys, if you're going to be having the Rahu and Ketu return, so you know this thing that Rahu Ketu return generally opens up a new cycle. And if you have to understand it from the Ketu's perspective, so that means development of your soul, solidification of your soul. So now this is going to be the time when Ketu will see, guys, when we talk about the Leo is somehow connected with Sun, which is connected with our soul. So that means over here, your sensation, your feeling aspect, your awareness aspect is going to increase. Again, guys, do not undermine the potential and capacity. Like all those things, kind of like astral travel, prophetic dreams, telepathy, all of that is possible. It's only like the fault lies with the humans, with us, that we are still kind of bound on the lower chakras only, that just the food, getting married, creating, procreating children, and just dying, and then again taking birth and repeating the same cycle. Only if you know to elevate yourself to the higher chakras, all these things like astral travel, telepathy, all of that is possible. See, the thing is, if you know that if your Ajna chakra, your third eye chakra, is aligned with your like Manipura chakra, navel chakra, so whatever you will visualize, energies in your whole body existence will manifest it. It will ensure to manifest it. It's just like that. We are not giving attention to that, right? So all that energies and all that which we have heard, which we have read, all of that magic miracle is possible. All what matters is that we have to raise our vibration, and this is going to be the time for you. Again, it's not the same thing which I say for every Rahu Ketu return. I'm saying for Leo Ketu return. So I hope you would have got the context. So yes, guys, this whole video is dedicated to Lord Ganesha, because that's what I was thinking when I started recording this video. I did not have any plan on that. So once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyawad.